The first session that I attended was Dr. Sweeting's. In this session, he introduced the symposium and he titled it The Church, Broken and Beautiful. I thought that was a suiting title, and it fit with the rest of symposium and the speakers and their ideas that they were presenting. He also had a few good points about how our faith or our presumptions of the church affect our faith in the church, which I think is an important point to make, because a lot of people, don't have that same upbringing in the church that a lot of us do, where we can, go to someone in the church and feel totally fine about it. We're really close with everybody. Some people have been hurt by the church, and that happens a lot, So I think that's an important point to make, and I'm glad that he did make that distinction, that our presumptions do affect it. And it was addressed very well with the rest of the chapel speakers, kind of addressing that point specifically. Dr. Sweeting also spoke on how, as Christians, we shouldn't be followers of tribalism. Like, the ways of the world, they're easy to follow, and it's something that, a lot of people choose to do when they go off to college. They don't stay in the church. They don't stay in community with all of these people that, would love to be in community with them. And I think that is another issue that we face, and that I think going to Colorado Christian University has really helped a lot of us stay intact with. Whereas if we would have gone to a secular school, it may not have been that way. I also attended Dr. Mark Harlock's Tuesday and Thursday sessions. I really enjoyed his sessions. He is a great evangelist and founder or president of the Calvary Church, who really strives in building churches in new places to reach more followers of God, which I think is super important. And he discussed how creating new churches is a good way to expand this belief that we have. And my experience in college has been similar to that. I go to Red Rocks. I've been going there for about 3 years, and I really enjoy it. And they open campuses all the time. Not all the time, but pretty often. For example, they have 2 God Behind Bars campuses where they're reaching people, evangelizing inside of prisons, which I think is super remarkable, and not something that a lot of people can do. But just really loving the people like God has commanded us to. We're supposed to love Him with our heart, our soul, and our mind. And the second commandment is equal to love our neighbors as ourselves. And I feel like that is portrayed well when Dr. Mark Harlock was talking about how we should love the church and as Jesus loves the church. And he described it as how the church was Jesus's bride. And so in order to fully love Jesus, we have to love the church. He said that, and I think that it was maybe taken out a little bit out of context, because in the context of the Big C church, that would make sense, right? We're supposed to love our neighbors and everyone as we love God. So I think that's a calling that God has placed in our lives, and that we should all strive to follow. And I think that was a point that really challenged me, that while, maybe I'm just going to church, I know it's not enough, and maybe just going to a small group once a week may not be enough. We need maybe a little bit more community. And like we have here at CCU, we have such a great community. I feel like we should be extending that into our local church. So I feel like that was a real big takeaway that I had, and that challenged me to think about my conceptualization of the local church right now. But aside from that, it was a fantastic symposium, and I'm looking forward to discussing it further in class.